Happy Friday and welcome to Jesiri. It's not just any Friday, it's a hot topic special where we bring you the most talked about stories, debates and trends making waves across Nigeria. From the serious to the sizzling, we're diving headfirst into the conversations that have everyone buzzing. Now, whether it's breaking news, culture shifts, or the hottest stories across the continent, we have got you covered. So grab your seat, stay locked in, and let's get into the stories that have set the tone for this week. Welcome to your Hot Topic Special Friday on Jesiri.
Can we get the Hot Topics motto?
Thank you so much. I needed that. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the stories that has got everyone talking. On Monday, we discussed news that gospel singer Timileyin Ajayi was caught with the head of his girlfriend in a nylon bag. Since then, the 32-year-old has been remanded in the Criminal Investigation Department of the Nasarawa Police Command in Lafia. We were the first station to speak to Salome Adaidu's family when our Abuja Bureau Chief, Amadin Uyi, went to the family house. Adaidu was a 24-year-old graduate who was currently serving in Abuja. Interestingly, the family denied knowledge of any relationship between Ajayi and Adaidu. They also said they had not been contacted by the police as of then.
Now, the alleged killer, Timileyin Ajayi, has been granting interviews while in custody. Guys, can you really beat that? I've been, that part, we'll talk about
unnerving.
But he said, and I quote, "I don't regret killing her. She was cheating on me with other men. I killed her because we don't have each other all the time. It's not something I planned. It happened on the day, and it happened. Not that I had the plan in mind." Now, Salome Adaidu's uncle, on the other hand, believes this is not his first time of doing such because of the number of knives that were found in his room. The uncle also believes that he was possibly preparing her body for consumption, that is to cannibalize her, since he had stabbed her mercilessly and shared her body parts into 6 different bags that were found in his room.
Now, the Nasarawa Police Command confirmed that Adaidu reportedly visited Ajayi at his residence in the Papalano Axis, New Kashi in Karo government, a local government area of Nasarawa State, where she was killed. The public relations officer, Rahman Nansel, said that investigations were ongoing and the suspect will be arraigned in court for prosecution, assuring the family and members of the public that the suspect will not be spared if found wanting. He also, what is if found wanting?
What does that mean?
He is found wanting. He also called for...
It's still alleged.
Well, okay. He also called for members of the public to help with their investigation by lodging any complaints if they have any regarding the suspect. And I have seen 1 or 2 claims online. Now, ladies, before we talk, let's look at the interview we had with her sister earlier this week.
On Saturday in the evening, as at 7 o'clock, we were inside. She dressed up and she said she was going to see a friend named Maxwell. That was how she left. She now told us that she was going out, and that was how she left the house till Sunday. We didn't hear any information. On Sunday, I was going back to Buhari, and someone called me on the road that my sister is in Uke. We're not like, okay, what is she doing there? Please, is there any information? Sir, please, can you give me any information about my sister? The man was like, no, he cannot give me any information about my sister. I have to come to the general hospital in Uke to come and meet my sister. I said, okay, I'm coming. So I turned back from where I was. I started going to Uke that night. When I got to Uke, I saw my sister dismembered on the floor. My sister, they told us to come and identify the body. We came, we saw my sister lying down on the floor, her hand, her legs, everything separated from her body. Then we now asked what happened. Then I said a guy, her boyfriend, picked her up. Her boyfriend killed her in his house and was taking her head, only the head, to Nasarawa State. And that same head that he was taking to Nasarawa State left the body in his house in Orozo. this same boyfriend that they are claiming that is my sister's boyfriend. In my family, if anybody knows my family, we know everybody that is a friend to everybody. I know all my younger sister's friend. My younger sisters knows all my friends. Even when I was living in university, I left my friends, my sisters in the hands of my friends, telling my friends that this lady, she's my sister, please take care of her, take care of her, take care of her. The LA cannot be dating someone for 1 year and will not know the person in my house. That was how Ele went to the hospital. We went to the hospital. We saw Ele on the floor. This guy has not told us anything about Ele. He has not said anything about Ele up till now. We've not seen him. We don't know what is happening. We are just hearing that the case, police are trying to gather evidence. They are still gathering evidence from Sunday. Something that happened, I don't know. We don't even know. The family doesn't. We don't know when it happened. They did not tell us if it happened on Saturday night or it happened on Sunday night. Where did he pick her from? How did they meet? We don't know anything about it. All we just know is that we need to know information about my sister and we need justice.
I think there's also assaults from one of the friends. We call it assault, so sorry. I think there's also something from one of the friends who also spoke. So if we can get that as well before we talk.
The LA that I know is not what they are describing on social media, and that was where I was angered. That was where I started following the case up on social media. This guy in question, LA doesn't know him from Adam. I have been friends with this family for the past 20 years. I come to their house, I live in their house, and they live in mine. So I can categorically tell you that that girl is not the person they are describing. And we all know each other. I'm not satisfied because they've not asked the family to write statements. They've not told the family anything about the guy, what he does, where he picked her from. I think these are basic questions that need to be asked. Basic questions, at least the simplest, and then more to it. But at least the first question, after they caught him and they tortured him and all of that, apart from the question that some persons and the policeman on ground, shallow questions that they were asking him, who are you, where do you know her from, and he was even calling a wrong name. You've been with somebody, you've dated somebody for 1 year and you don't know her name.
Wow, because I'm listening to them and I'm wondering, because we all thought her name was Salome, and I'm hearing Ele. Maybe
no, that's right. So she has two names, and we've been hearing Salome Adaidu, and
so that's what the family.
But then it's also a nickname. Yes.
You know, sometimes I don't like to say children of this time, because if the family are saying that they do not have any idea of who this guy is, and the guy is claiming to have been dating her for over a year, is it possible that the girl was actually, maybe not proud of a relationship?
Not necessarily. Look, it now looks like there's a twist to it, because no matter what, 1 year, even if the family does not know, her friend that is that supposedly knows her in and out. And this is the same guy who is giving a different name, who is giving different reasons. When they asked him the first time, why did you kill her? I said she was cheating. They asked again, why did you kill her? I said she wasn't staying with me. I didn't have her all the time. So like I said, he's trying to feign insanity. So
I said as we were talking about it that he's been granting interviews. I have a very, very big problem with that. This is somebody who's in police custody. And yes, it might be exclusive and you want to go viral, but this is somebody who's in police custody. It's obvious it's in police custody that news organizations are able to approach him, stick a microphone in his face and talk to him. It's a criminal justice, it's a criminal case. Right now, obviously, he probably doesn't have any lawyer. But why are the police allowing these interviews? Because one of the things you're saying is the interviews are even muddling the waters. His story continues seemingly to either change or to be built upon with every single interview who's granted. Yet, have they spoken to the family? I reached out to Amadin this morning, and then the family says there's a lot that's happening. They're still not getting clarity. But this guy still has an opportunity to be selling and telling his side of the story. And I said one thing, especially when it comes to issues around violence against women, when we have these situations about either domestic violence or femicide. This is clear femicide right now. It is a dog whistle to a lot of Nigerian men and to the Nigerian populace when you claim that you killed a woman because she cheated on you or because there was infidelity that you suspected. Not that you said you caught her. Even if you caught her, so what? That is not a reason that you kill somebody. One of the things he said is, I don't have any regrets because life is reciprocal. That is what I thought. If you must do something to someone, you have to be reciprocal with that person. You have to understand what that person is going through so that you can actually put yourself in the position that the person is going through. That is why I don't have any regrets, because we were actually What is he saying?
As far as
like, it makes no sense.
Like,
is he building an insanity defense? Is he trying to make himself look like he's not?
I think that is what he's doing. But look at it. I'm still wondering that nobody from his family has even stepped up. We haven't heard anything from. Of course, that boy didn't fall from heaven. He probably has ties. He probably has friends. He probably has a circle. How come we haven't heard anything from his side of the divide? So we've heard from the girl's side. At least I saw one lady on social media that posted something that she almost fell into his trap in one WhatsApp group or something. But somehow we've not heard anything from
there's a possibility
his
that
side.
probably his family dissociated themselves from it. Because there was an interview I saw where they were asking people, residents of that area, and people were saying that he's been having suspicious behaviors.
That they've been seeing young women coming
in and out. Still. And now it feels like the guy just knows the right time to sound incoherent. Because the interview that I watched, honestly, it wasn't making any sense.
One time he said, "Oh, I married the food for her." Then I'm like, what's wrong? This guy is, and you know, this one is coming clearly, is very close to the one we took some weeks ago, the one that went to the hospital and took off someone's
took off the
oxygen mask. And I'm wondering that, what is wrong with our youth now? Is it that poverty, or, wait, I'm going somewhere.
You know I don't like that.
No, I know. I'm just going somewhere. But you know there's a way that people have so much lack that it breaks their mind, literally. Sometimes when you see people on the road, sometimes it's not about, it's a mental breakdown.
I've seen,
like, they no longer understand.
That sounds like justification.
So but in law, in defense, insanity is a defense for murder when it comes to murder and things. But we cannot overlook the fact that such a thing is possible.
I don't, because I've seen cases, I've seen cases of serial killers who were stupendously rich and probably didn't have what to do with their time and went on a killing spree. I've seen serial killers who just got motivated by what they saw on TV. So I don't think it has anything to do with poverty.
No.
So I'm not saying this point you're going, because I think I had this conversation when I was on radio many years ago. We've tagged this thing a ritual killing because he dismembered her body and he was seen carrying her head. But I don't know why. Is it that the Nigerian psyche doesn't want to agree that we have serial killers among us? There's no population of people that does not have active serial killers among them.
I totally agree.
I don't think every time we see somebody with somebody's body part that it is a ritual. A lot of serial killers, unfortunately, will do that dismembering to reduce the possibility of their victims being found. Not because they want to use the body part. And so maybe because
you have never alluded, in this particular case, you have never alluded to
he hasn't. But we're the ones who have just our society has assumed it, because our minds, I think for many of us, we can't think of anybody killing somebody doing what he's doing, that it is not something tied to rituals.
In Nigeria, we talked about this, I think, in the makeup room some days ago, that we hardly have cases end. Half of the time, most of the time, when you see somebody just disappear, the trail just goes cold. Nobody is really investigating to find the conclusion.
It's the families that continue. This thing you're saying, so I remember many years ago on social media, in a span of a week, I remember just seeing so many different posts with people saying, last seen at. We're talking children, we're talking women, we're talking men, we're talking elderly people. Somebody's going to the bus stop, somebody's going to the market. All of a sudden, they just disappear. And there's not, like in the US, I know there's a missing persons registry. So they constantly try to find ways to reintroduce those people's stories and pictures to the national consciousness. Then they do this age progression thing, especially for children who might have disappeared.
And they show you what over the years.
And they try to show you what the child would likely look like now. Do you know how many people have seen themselves and realized that they were kidnapped? Yeah. By seeing themselves with age. But we don't take so many things seriously.
Look at the police system. You know that some of the work our tax money is supposed to do is cater for these kinds of agencies. Yes. But when you see that they hardly have, is it the force that are buying their own uniform would have money? Do you know what it takes to continue investigation? They have to keep investing in that particular case to keep it going so that they can get to the conclusion. So that's why we don't have registered. We've not been able to identify ritual killers. Look at this guy. How come he has a machete in his house? A butcher's knife. There was a story. I don't think the guy is Nigerian. That was killing people and burying them.
Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenya.
Like
around a village, some women.
It was an exact replica of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes. And it was happening. But here in Nigeria, how many of our cases are followed through from beginning to the end? Once the family just lets off, sometimes the government should not.
And how are you still gathering evidence like days after?
No, it takes time.
It takes time
to be able to. They do a good job. There's no loophole.
But are they
because him being found with
the
a
job?
head, somebody can tell you, okay, he was found with a head. Does that tell you that he killed her?
Killed the person.
They'll tell you that her body parts were found in his house. Does that say he killed her? So you have to you dot the I's and you cross the T's. And
he had a machete in his house. He had a butcher's knife. Is it that he had premeditated? Or he had probably done it before.
Exactly. This may not be his first
That's
victim.
what I am driving at.
They might even just close up this story and not
know
find
that
out every
he
other
had done
story
some
and
other
not
ones
into others. It's a big shame. And I also think the fact that the family is saying that they're not aware of any relationship between the two of them is something that we need to
consider too.
We need to consider it because it's not enough for him to claim that they were in a relationship.
I
in a situation in which she's now
must
dead,
have other friends. There is no way. All I know is that's why the police need to do proper investigation. This guy did not fall from heaven. He must have ties.
No, the neighborhood.
He must have friends. So he must have people that know him that can speak to on his characters, his ways, the things he does. At least somebody must be able to talk on that side.
Which is quite interesting too.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be associated with this story because he was quote unquote a gospel singer. He sang in churches. He has
Look at this picture now.
TikTok
feeling
following.
as if he's getting word from the Most High.
He has a TikTok following. He has an Instagram following. So at the end of the day, when you look at it all, there are so many questions about
to be honest,
he is.
He is, yes.
But oftentimes, I think sometimes we allow the narrative of the killer about the victim to overshadow. And I want us to continue to remember that Salome Adaidu was somebody's sister. She was somebody's daughter. She was somebody's friend.
And people already judging her.
She had graduated and she's serving. Do not take the word of the man who was accused of killing her as to the kind of person she was and the character she had. And allow her family to tell you who she was. Why are we taking Timileyin Ajayi's word for the kind of person she is?
And the friend was even saying that she has never seen him
ahead of it.
So it could have been a case of kidnapping.
It's possible. Look at if that girl that was saying something on social media is true. How about if that was how they met? Okay, let Timileyin show us one picture of them together. He has a phone. If you are dating someone, there's no way your partner's picture, one or two, even people you go to drinks with, not to take a random selfie together just to register the fact that you were together. And there are a lot of questions that need to be answered.
She mentioned that she was going to see a Maxwell. Who is the Maxwell?
Maxwell.
Should he not be questioned as well?
Or was he pretending to be Maxwell? What if that was the first time there might be just the first time gaps in this story and even in his story. So we reached out to the family and as I said earlier, Amadin Uyi, Abuja Bureau Chief, did speak to the family earlier this week. They've asked for some time, so hopefully we'll be able to talk to her sister or her friend next week. And that'll also give them time to hear from the police. Because what really did pain me was that they were saying that the police had not contacted them. So they're sitting at home watching this guy granting interviews and they're not being contacted by the police. As of then, which is very necessary to say, they may have been contacted now, but it'd be good to hear that the police are in touch with them, the police are giving them what information the police can give them and keeping them abreast of the investigations. Not that they're being shut out, but meanwhile you just scroll on social media and he's telling his story everywhere.
Just like Tolu would say, and just like Tolu would say, it's always scary when she does that thing. The female, the girl child is not safe anywhere. I'm always afraid when she says it because now, what do we tell people? Are we going to say don't have friends? don't go to places.
So you're bringing me back. I wish Catherine was here. You're bringing me back to what Catherine was trying to say earlier this week, and I was about to jump across this table. I wanted to bite her. I cannot lie because I don't hear any justification. Don't tell me anything. So you're saying that girls are following young boys with money, and okay, what money did this one have? This one is a gospel singer. They'll tell you that women are the ones choosing wrongly. She chose someone that she thought had the spirit of God. Is a Christian. She's dead. If she chose him, again, she chose him. If knew him. Do you get? So let's not, regardless of what women are after, there is no justification for you taking a life. If you don't want a relationship, you end the relationship. If there's a relationship, if they tell you no, you move on. No has never killed anybody. I think we really need to have a conversation, but there's a femicide conversation, there's a serial killer conversation, there's a conversation to be had about what our society is accepting from both women and girls on both sides of the divide. At the end of the day, women and boys, sorry.
Anyway.
Boys and girls.
This story, I knew that the day we take it, it was going to be very distasteful, and it's not even closed at all. We need more clarification.
Absolutely.
We need this case to progress so that people can get a little more.
I need Catherine to be here so
it's too light for us because we're just hearing the voice of the alleged killer. At the moment, we need to hear other voices.
And they keep superimposing his voice, which is not good because it's changing people's
perspective
of the girl.
And we don't know her. Anyway, are we going to break a little? Anyway, we'll just take a break from this particular story. We'll be right back after this break. We'll be back.
This is Hot Topic Special on Jasiri. Don't forget you can join the conversation via our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Now, in our next story, veteran Nollywood actress Ngozi Ezeonu is trending online for calling out the dressing of two aspiring actresses who came to an audition she was part of. Let's watch the video.
See, any other day I'm on any audition table and I see a lady dressed like, two of you. Look at them. And anybody comes in dressed like this, I'll disqualify that person. How can you come to an audition ground without a bra? With your cropped up top? It's wrong. Smiley, why are you trying to impress me? That's why the people see us as people who are not serious. And a serious-minded actor. Do you get it? You can't catch me now dressed like this, even when I was your age. It's wrong. To carry breast, leave breast, you can't try. Why?
Let's take reactions first, because I really don't know how this one.
Reactions.
I don't know how this one is going to go.
And they'll bite you.
Let's go to reactions first and see what the people are saying. Okay, we'll work on that when they come in. I have my
2 cents.
I have my 2 kobo.
But the thing I'd say is that maybe because people do not know what acting is, I would speak as a professional in that field. For me, an audition is like you came for an interview. And how you appear is very, very important, honestly. There are so many girls that keep shouting that they don't give them good roles. But when you come for an audition and you look like that, me, as part of the people auditioning you, I'm just going to look for a role like, okay, you can always play waka pass. But if you are coming for an audition, you prepared a monologue. A monologue is like a 1 minute of you internalizing and in a character, and you could have come dressed as a character, except the character you are playing is maybe a prostitute. And I found out that why is it that every single person that goes on that, why must you play prostitute all the time? No, are they not serious? That's why they don't. When you see some auditions, I can't lie to you, you do not know how to cast them because they don't bring anything to the table. So wait, when you come like this and the men
they don't bring anything to the table in what they're dressing as, or when they do the actual audition, they're not able to carry the role. I think there are 2 separate things.
Yeah, there are 2 separate things. But as far as I'm concerned, there is something called indecent. If you stand before audition, people that are giving an audition, one, sometimes you can't even look at them. If you see a lady and her headlights are pointing at your face, you can hardly.
No, headlights look.
You'll be like, okay.
I'm trying to be careful what I say.
Don't be careful.
Because
I have memo for
on this table we have said a lot about, not sexualizing women. When women get molested or sexually harassed, we should link it to, okay, you two, what were you wearing? But just like Lolo said, there is such a thing as indecence. Look, sometimes when I see these things, right, there's nothing you will tell me. There's a message you're trying to pass across to the producer or the person auditioning you.
My thought?
It's like, yes, it's like saying, okay, I may not be very good at the part, but look at the
that,
body. And it really, I don't know what part you intend to play, but that is not, it's not.
There's a saying that they say, you dress the way you want to be addressed.
It's not even about address right now. Because
before you finish, I know where you are going.
You don't know where I'm going.
Honestly,
direction I'm headed to.
Because again, this is going to dent the image of the people in the industry. It's going to look like, even if you don't
audition,
that's
is
what they want to see.
I'm not saying that a lady should be harassed by how she dresses, but now you are coming for an audition. You're coming for an interview. I can never imagine you coming to an interview and you have a see-through net camisole under a jacket. Nothing is under there.
Look, I'm just going to say it, right? I'm sorry, if you go for an audition like this and they ask you for sex, don't be offended.
No, be offended. Don't be. It's not justification.
Don't be offended because you're totally naked.
I will solicit them. Let her be naked. It's no justification for you to tell me if you want the role, you want sex. Now, I think there are two things happening in this story, and I want us to be able to have a conversation about two separate truths. One, I think, yes, an audition is an interview. Whatever type of interview you're going for, that's the type of interview you dress for. An audition is an interview. I can't look at those girls now and say, oh, I'm thinking that I'm going to cast them as maybe my supporting actress. They could be one of the best people at the audition, but given what I've seen, because let's be honest, psychologists will tell you that we judge people based on how they look and how they dress. Within 15 seconds maybe, people have already made a judgment of the type of person you are, whether or not they want to continue to engage with you, and whether they think you're somebody who's worthy of their time within almost 15 seconds. But I have a problem with that. And let me tell you, I think I have a problem with Auntie Ngozi because, that's my mom, I can't just call her name anyhow. But I think there was an opportunity to display empathy.
No.
They knew what they were
an opportunity for education.
No, empathy and education can go hand in hand. What are you telling me? She could have easily told them, she could have easily called them to the side.
No,
called them to the side.
Yes, it's not like the dress.
I let you guys finish. Okay. I let you finish. She could have easily. I'm more of an empathetic person. That's why I asked them to blur their faces, because this is a very humiliating video. Regardless of what we think about it, it's very embarrassing.
That she wasn't at least. I don't know who's she wasn't the one that
I'm not done. So that's why I asked that their faces be blurred, because I think this is an opportunity, yes, for education, but also empathy. You can educate and be empathetic at the same time. She could call them to the side and say, if you're serious about doing this, go back and change. It felt performative to me. It felt like she needed to make a statement to young girls these days.
No.
Yes, I agree that they were not rightly dressed, but that's why I'm saying two truths can be held in the same situation. They are not rightly dressed, but I do not like and I do not appreciate her manner of approach. I think if it was me, it's an opportunity for education and empathy. Who are you performing to?
Before she even called them up, they were seated there already. All the men there had seen, all the women, everybody had seen. And in her defense, she wasn't recording it to put it online.
Exactly.
They knew what they wanted before they stepped out of the house.
She knew that somebody was recording and she was talking to these girls. Are you telling me she didn't know that somebody was recording this?
So she should stop talking because someone is recording.
No, she could have said, let me talk to you privately.
They shouldn't have worn what they wore. They knew that there was a possibility of
calling some of these girls privately. Don't you know that is why this generation is still going down?
They will insult you.
We decide to call
there is a place for empathy in this.
I don't think she did anything out of
honestly, if their dress is ripped or tore or something happened they didn't know about, I would have said she could have been
So you walked out the way from her. How would you feel shame? You don't feel any shame dressing this way.
Circumstances that led them to wear.
They mistakenly did not wear bra.
I'm going to play complete.
You came from home in a leggings with a bra. Even the rules of dressing.
Look, I'm just
you are already killing the dressing. You are wearing a crop top over
We have literally rubbished fashion all in the name of Alte, and we have seen situations where people would insult elderly people for calling them to order, for telling them the right things to do. You're coming to an audition. You did not. Your clothes did not fall on you without a bra inside. You knew what you were wearing before you came there. Honestly, I don't care what anybody tells me. There was a mission. Because if you wanted to come and show your talent,
the next time I'm having an audition, Tolu will sit in that panel all day.
I'll come.
And when you see something, I have been in many auditions. Some of these people, sometimes you are looking at them and I'm wondering that, is it that you don't want to further your career? And you tell them openly, like, don't you want to further your career beyond this image you are painting? Some of them, but one lady opened her mouth. When I heard her monologue, I was blown away. But do you know that all the other men in that skinny, they're already extra? Because once she sorted in and they looked, everybody had written a score.
It is a factor of life. Even in this office that I sit in, there are more than 3 girls I've called privately. When I see what they're wearing, I tell them, this is not what we wear in the office. You're in a professional setting. And I've never had to call them again. I chose to employ empathy. I could have been walking down the hallway and use any opportunity whenever people are walking down the hallway to disgrace them. But to make a point about it. When you teach, you can teach in many ways. So there's carrot and stick.
Teacher,
again, you know that
a school.
So, but you know again that in this same office, right? If the say HR, for example, sees that, and no matter who is passing, they will call them and sanction them in front of people because it is the law. You shouldn't wear this too. And this is how.
What is the law? What you wear to audition?
No, so this is how.
No, she was saying there's a law, so that's why I'm asking her.
Okay, no, so maybe unspoken. But this is how I like to see it, right? If you're going to maybe your MD's office or your pastor's office and you're wearing a micro skirt, a see-through dress without a bra, you cannot tell me that you don't have a mission.
I'm going back to your other point. Even if you have a mission, the person who is the target of the mission, must that person fall? Because at the end of the day,
I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should fall, but we should stop making it so easy.
But I am saying make the offer, therefore it is their fault.
No. It's two different things. What I'm saying is, if eventually the men fall, don't be upset.
Why can't you be upset?
I'm not saying it's your fault, but don't be upset because
it's a very thin line and a very straight and very easy line don't be upset about that to justify other things.
I understand.
I know that the men should extend discipline, but you are enabling a bad behavior. You can't tell me that there is smoke here and you carry petrol and put a drop.
If you walk naked,
it's going to erupt.
If you walk naked into a married,
they should protect themselves a little bit.
If you walk naked into a married man's office
everywhere
and he falls, it's both your faults. That's what I'm saying.
Remember what I said, 2 things can be true.
It's not about their dressing.
I agree that they're indecently dressed or wrongly dressed for an audition, but I also believe empathy could have been employed in this situation.
I don't know your line completely, but I am saying we should stop stoking the fire. There are many sick people walking about the streets these days. A lot of men's mind have been ruined with pornography. That when they see you clad or unclad, they have already undressed you. But when you make it, when you make yourself,
even nuns get raped.
You make it
even children wearing clothes.
It's just like going to a bullfight. You went to a bullfight and you wore a red dress. So why shouldn't the bull knock you out?
So what I'm saying is,
are we going to equate them to animals that they have?
They are like animals, because a lot of them are sick.
That they don't have any discipline. They don't know how to hold themselves.
It's like $14 in a poor man's hand. It takes an extreme level of discipline. It doesn't mean it's right, but I'm saying that you cannot trigger, and if you want somebody empathetic, then remove the people
triggers you should remove
and do not experience this.
I wanted to jump across the table and bite Catherine on my. It's like I want to jump on this table and fight the two of them. But we need to go. It's okay. Even the TD is telling you to wait. So, ladies, we need to go and take a live breaking story coming from here in Lagos at the Sele Market. We have News Central correspondent Omolola Ololade on the scene, where it seems that officials of Against Indiscipline are breaking down what has been known as a very, very popular market. Celeb Market, a popular market situated at Celeb Bus Stop, has been destroyed this morning by the Kick Against Indiscipline agency under the Lagos State government. Now, the market men and women woke up to the destruction by Kai, saying that they were not given prior notice, else they would have prepared. Let's see if we can speak to Omolola now. Omolola, can you hear me? Hello, Omolola.
Hello, good morning. I can hear you.
All right. So, tell us well, I've given a bit of a brief about what's going on, but the part I'm interested in is that the market men and women said they were given no prior notice. Are there any Lagos State government officials there who might be able to give us details on this? Was there notice given to the market traders in this place?
So when I saw this morning on my way to work, I was wondering what was happening here too. So I decided to go check and ask them. Then I saw that this market has been destroyed. This market is a popular market on Celeb Bus Stop along Oshogapapa Expressway. This market has been here for more than 5-10 years, if I can remember correctly. But this morning, it was being destroyed. And when I asked, the PRO of the Kick Against Indiscipline was saying that they have been given prior notice several times to this effect, and they did nothing. But the market women on the other side are saying that no, they didn't know about this, that they just woke up to this morning and found out that their market, the market has been destroyed, some of their items taken away and, destroyed. But when I spoke to the Lagos government, it was another story. And another interesting thing about this market is the fact that it is surrounded, or it is in the middle of a canal, and also has like a road. It has a major road where people pass to link the other side of the road. So they're saying that in the first place, the government is saying that it's not even a major market. It's not a registered market, that these people have decided to come and make a market out of this place. And that is why the destruction is happening this morning.
Wow. All right. So we saw the bus, the van for the Kick Against Indiscipline people. Has anybody been arrested? Maybe not arrested. Has anybody been detained? It seems to be that this is it's going to take a while to clear this whole place out. But has anybody been detained in regards to this situation this morning?
Well, not really. They have their Black Maria and other this thing very close to it. So anyone who doesn't comply to whatever it is they're saying will be taken to the Black Maria. Because earlier I saw them, beating some people who is trying to not adhere to their instructions, and they're saying that if you don't comply with their instructions, they might as well throw you into the Black Maria. But so far so good. There hasn't been any case of arrest or harassment or anything like that.
Response from any of the officials, because several times we hear things like, they were given prior notice, but eventually we don't see any documented notice, we don't see any letter that was sent to them. So have the officials responded?
Well, I have not been able to speak to the CM because he's very busy at the moment, but the PRO did tell me that they sent letters, they gave prior notice to, to this effect, but the market women on the other side are saying they didn't see anything and that they just have to come take that this is a major means of livelihood, and that if they had seen it, maybe they would have prepared better, but that they didn't get anything from the government.
Omolola, let me ask, in terms of what's being destroyed, is this a general goods market? What was the market known for? Because in Lagos, you have certain markets that might be known for a particular thing. So what are some of the items, unfortunately, that the traders are losing this morning?
So this market is it's one of the major food markets in the environs. You can find food items like food stuff, like meat, fish, melon, and all the likes. It's a major food market, really. But on the other side of the market is where they say it's the market itself. If you look at it closely, there's a market inside where we stand. So this is just like an extension of the market, which is why they say they are destroying the market, that it's an extension, that there shouldn't be anything here, but you have the major market in just few kilometers after where I'm standing. You have the major market there where you have all the market sellers and every other thing.
Omolola, I'm very, very conversant. I know this market very well. I know that this one is under the Celeb Bridge on the side going to Oshodi. This market extends into the Lawansin end. And I know that there's an abattoir there. There is another market there. Are those extensions not affected? The ones across the canal, is that the one that is the major market? Is only the extension that the government is destroying?
Okay, so for now it's only the extension of the market. But when I asked them, they said they were going into the other side of the market, where the other side that is too close to the canal. So I think it's just the market that is around the canal that is being destroyed. But the other market that is inside, that has like the registered market that is inside the fence and on the other side is not being touched. I think it's just the extension of the market, which is of course the larger part of the market, if you ask me.
All right, Timileyin, thank you so much. I know that we're going to be following this story throughout the day, and I know hopefully by 12 we'll be able to talk to some of the traders, their market leaders, as well as government representatives to get a clearer picture. Thank you so much for the updates.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk about this in just a moment, but we need to take a quick break. It's a Hot Topics Friday right here on Jasiri, and there's more after this.
Many thanks for staying with us. We're still on Hot Topics Special, but before we went on the break, we had a breaking story that our correspondent Omolola Olade brought to us from the Sele market destruction. Now, the traders are saying that they weren't given enough notice, but the officials, on the other hand, are saying that they have been given notice. The market has currently been destroyed, and of course, it goes without saying that properties are being lost as we speak. I mean,
it's a lot, but as we were taking this story, I was just remembering the fire that happened around Okeari Market, Ebute Ero in Lagos State, and that affected me. That's probably why I remember it, because of a coal bridge being closed and how the Lagos State government said they had constantly been giving them notice that people were living under there, that there was fuel there, that eventually caught fire, and it closed the bridge because the bridge had to go through integrity testing, and they had to. It was a lot, and let's be honest. At the end of the day, are we going to tell ourselves the truth that Lagos State for too long has allowed these situations to happen? And let me tell you, what I've seen in the past 6 months, Lagos State is on a tear. Even you spoke about the extension into Lawansin. In Lawansin recently, they took down 3 filling stations.
I heard so.
NNPC was among them. Oh, wow.
I want to go to
the filling station.
A friend of mine, I wasn't even
Lagos
aware.
is on a tear recently.
But people should know that whether we like it or not, you cannot build on illegality.
And
it does not matter the length of time.
So my
what is illegal is illegal.
My thing is, I think that people expect them to give, or it will take time to rebuild what has been destroyed, because like we said, they've allowed so many things, and that's why it's possible that even this notice that keeps coming, people are literally calling their bluff because they know that there's somebody there that they can pay 10,000 naira, or someone there that they can just try and make them hush and then just continue their lives as though nothing happened. It's gone on for too long. So now that you want to be heavy-handed, people would naturally want to be defensive and fight back.
We agree.
We agree. But oftentimes you said heavy-handed, so it makes me think. Oftentimes it feels like, one, we don't like nice things, we can't have nice things, and you can't talk to us nicely. We're stubborn. Let's be honest. I don't know about this particular situation. But wait, I don't know about this particular situation, but even the Okeari government came and showed the notices that they have continually given people, even when they're bringing down shanties. And it's not to say I'm not 100% on the side of government, because some of these cases were in court, and you were meant to hold status quo,
doesn't it
hold fire, but governments went ahead to go ahead and do these demolitions. But Lagos State, we are always complaining about being one fire away from catastrophe, one accident on the bridge away from catastrophe. We have allowed this to go on too long. I will just say, he who has ears, listen. If Lagos has given you eviction notice or some kind of something before, better start packing.
So that's what I'm saying, that we have enabled it for too long. We've enabled our stubbornness.
No, I think honestly, our stubbornness is something that needs to be studied in Harvard. Have you not noticed how people quickly create market? Look at my estate around Aja, Abraham. You just go out one day and you will find a full-blown market on the side of the street.
Do you know what it starts? It starts with the first person who sells.
Yes, selling one thing. Then now there's a full-blown market.
And they're paying rent. Let's not even forget
accidents happen,
they're paying rent to somebody. Somebody is the landlord who's collecting money. Somebody is the non-state actor who's collecting.
So that somebody is my problem, because when all this demolition started, we're asking one same question: who allowed it? If you said it wasn't allowed in the first place, why is it that they built a whole structure?
But any right-thinking person in Lagos State now should know that the side of the road is not a designated market. You now see, you are not even putting just table and chair. I have seen people have audacious attitude of putting a cabin, I mean what they call container. They'll build a container there and create a shop for themselves somewhere you know that is not designated.
So what we're saying,
whether some people are collecting taxes or things underhandedly, you are the one that is enabling their chairmanship.
What we know is that Lagos is towing a really tough stance lately, and I really don't know how it will turn out. Again, as I said, in some of it, we know some of these eviction
Don't you remember the Oshodi thing some years ago? If anyone told me that they will be able to evacuate that under bridge Oshodi, that Igbo men sell spare parts, TV repair things, stuff like that, electronics, I would say it's impossible. But my sister, they did it.
They did it, and it's like they want to do it again.
And Obalende, so all these things, if you're listening to the show, you better be calling to order. Some of these women, you buy things from that. Mama, you better carry your things away from here because this is not a designated market, and I would rather that they break your shop and you don't lose your goods.
Let's not even forget the way that these markets that spring up lead to environmental pollution.
Pollution,
they lead to waste.
Hazard,
you're creating places that do not exist in the plan, and then you're saying that you want to be catered to. The next thing you'll hear is that they should come and give them pipe-borne water. They should come and no, that place was not meant to be there.
It's not a market. Have you seen the refuse dumps everywhere? Every market on designated market comes with refuse dumps. And all these things lead to sickness and disease. You hear cholera outbreak. Don't you wonder that why do we hear these cholera outbreaks? And because it doesn't come near to where you are, some of these heavily populated areas are the ones that suffered the consequences of some of the actions they created themselves.
And there's a canal there. Did you see the state of the canal? That's not a free-flowing canal. Rainy season will soon come. They will now hear that market traders are asking government to, you're not supposed to be where you're not supposed to be. And that's just the end of the conversation. It might sound, I know in some situations with Lagos, it can be a very elitist conversation in terms of the land usage, who owns it, who's taking rents from it. But what is right, what is wrong is wrong. In this situation, there are clear wrongs. There's not supposed to be a market under the bridge.
And I'm sure they
did you see the extent of the market under the bridge?
Yes.
Because we enabled our
I've known that market for a long time. I live in
market owners, they've said it before. If they did it before, they shall did it again.
So let that run.
Once again, I'm going to do the Yoruba Aboshiro last from Oluwabi to Badine.
Stop rushing it. Calm down and say the thing the right way.
Aboshiro last from Oluwabi. To Badine Adodidi. Odidi, yes.
Odidi. Please, can you say the right thing? Say the right thing. What is that shit? It's only we should only need to tell you something small. Or what is enough for the wise?
Internalize it and make it.
Or what is enough for the wise?
No, Odindi.
Anyways, let's give the Jasiri hot topic straight.
Can we really?
I am actually very interested in this story.
Do you see how much time you have left?
Yes, 5 minutes.
Let's go watch it.
Okay, so there was a lady that needed over 300,000 naira for a C-section. Now, because her husband couldn't provide it, her female friends came together and raised over 400,000 naira for her. About 4 months down the line, during a conversation in their WhatsApp group, this same woman asked the single ones among them, "When will you people be serious with your life?" Now, naturally, they got upset, and one of them clapped back saying, "If we weren't serious, we wouldn't have taken on your husband's responsibility. The marriage you're defending isn't something I'd wish on my enemy." The lady got offended by the response and started crying around. The situation has caused somewhat of a debate about her statement and the response she received. Ladies, what do you think?
Me too. I'm trying to look for Yoruba proverbs to give you people on this.
Honestly, sometimes we talk too much. You know,
way too much.
Women talk too much. That's like, and we're insensitive.
How will you be telling somebody?
How can you go to your
serious about? Do you know what
I'm
there is?
Seeing that they're the ones that saved your life. Your husband couldn't save you. You now have
who wants such a marriage? I'd rather be single in that.
No, that's why she said I wouldn't wish that kind of marriage on my
She didn't lie.
So, do you know what my issue is? Instead of her to take the shame
and apologize
and hold it,
I didn't mean it
she
that
has
way.
gone outside of the group to go and be reporting the group you're the one who is spreading your shame. Because the only thing people will tell you is, oh, don't worry, they're jealous. They're not jealous.
Of what?
It's not all the single people in your life that are jealous of your marriage.
I promise you that.
I have an auntie, Tolu. She chose not. I sent you something in your DM. Women now are choosing not to have children. And I think they have a right to do that. I have an aunt, she doesn't have children, she never married, and she will not even agree for your children to come and stay or visit. So it's not like, oh, I need to take love from your children. She says she doesn't want it. And I don't think it's something we should shame anybody for.
At all.
It's a choice they made about their life. You were married, we're born children.
Are you happy?
Face your responsibility. Simple. Look at this girl. Instead of her to apologize to her parents, I just quickly do like something. If it's me, I'd have said, I don't mean it like that. Why are you so hard?
This point Lola made makes me question, really, are you guys friends? Because it's a friends group. Because some people also said that if it was their friend that said something like that, they'll find a way to take it as a joke and return it as a joke. But we can say that both of us were joking.
She might be hormonal. People forget that women
I don't care.
might just be, maybe the day she said that thing was,
you needed 300,000.
You should
go and turn it on your husband.
See, that situation should
you
have
needed
made
300,000.
control your hormone.
Then you needed 300,000. They gave you 400,000. They gave you 100,000 extra.
That your
Even your
husband would not
husband,
give you.
should have composed a message that your husband will drop in the group saying thank you.
Thank you.
Instead, you open your mouth and say you don't have
saying what she said.
I didn't want to watch this story because I have more to say, but unfortunately, the more is not happening.
honestly, oh do me, but we have to go.
TD, we've heard you. We're going. They want to chase us.
I like that clap back though.
But Omolola Olorade will have updates on the select market, under bridge market destruction. We need to specify because, as she said, there is another market that's further out. She'll have updates for you on the 12 o'clock news. That's News Central now. But it's a wrap for today's Hot Topic special Friday on Jasiri. Thank you for joining us as we unpack the week's biggest stories and debates. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Stay curious and stay informed and keep engaging with the issues that matter to you and that get you talking. If you think we've missed anything, tag us on social media. We'll take it up and we'll let you know what we think about it. Until that means Monday, 10 a.m. West African time. Have a good one.
Yeah,
I want to say,
drop Adeji meaning.
No.